trying to kill you?
Carolyn, how long have you been outside that door?
Long enough.
Not long enough, or I wouldn't have to ask.
Hello, hello, it is Joel, one member of the Articulate Coven, and it's time for us to go back to Collinsport and see what our favorite spooky supernatural soap opera is up to. We're up to episode 4 now of the first season of Dark Shadows, the original supernatural soap opera. I got a couple of comments, though, from some of you on our YouTube. You can watch these videos, our reaction videos on YouTube. You can get the full reaction videos, and you can get them early on our Patreon, articulatecoven.com/join. To join there, $2 a month or higher, and you get access to all the videos early and ad-free. We got a comment on the first one, though, from Keffinated a couple of days ago. They said, I have long waited for someone to react to Dark Shadows. I saw it when it first aired back in 1966. I have to assume that you have been notified of the glacial pace of the first few months and the time it takes to get to the supernatural, not to mention that it would be more conventional and wiser to begin with the Barnabas episodes. I wish you well. All right, so thank you, Keffinated. And I did hear, someone had already told me, that Barnabas doesn't come in until season 2, and I think it's like season 2, episode 10 or episode 11 is when his arc starts. It is crazy to think about in retrospect that they saved, you know, what is clearly the main thing that people remember from this show, that there's a vampire in it, that they saved that until season 2. Speaking of vampires, though, Angela Holmes commented on my episode 2 reaction on YouTube and said there's also another supernatural daytime soap opera called Port Charles. It featured vampire and angels, or vampires. Oh, it featured vampires and angels. There we go. 2 separate words. So cool. I'll have to check out Port Charles. I had heard of that. I'd kind of forgotten about it. I don't believe I've ever seen Port Charles, so I don't know the differences there. I'm not locked in to doing, you know, all of Dark Shadows. If you all find in the end that you'd like me to react to something else, we can get through the first season of this and we might try something else. I think we'll probably at least get through the first 2 seasons so I can get into some Barnabas, and then we'll see where everybody's at. All right, let's get into this episode now and see what's happening for Victoria et al.
My name is Victoria Winters. The dark night presses in on the crest of Widow's Hill as though it were alive. I can almost feel it.
You know, it occurs to me, none of the soap operas that I've watched, I've only really got into a few. I watched a lot of Days of Our Lives. I watched a lot of Passions. Neither one of them had voiceover like this. I don't know if that's unique in soap opera. It's interesting anyway. She's got a real problem with that window staying closed. Is it Raja? I don't know. Raja doesn't sneak around quite like that, I don't think. It's not a ghost, though. We know that because he's got shoes. Ghosts don't wear shoes. I mean, genuinely, kudos, Amazon. The soundtrack is solid, and the audio is just really, really good in this transfer. I am continually surprised. I mean, these strings get any more tense, they're gonna pop.
Get away from that door.
Go back to bed.
I want you to come downstairs with me now.
And I want you to go back to bed.
Do as I say now.
Well, first of all, it was Raja. I mean, we just gonna open the show with a rape attempt? Is that the idea there? He didn't want Elizabeth around. Oh man, I thought for sure with that music we were gonna go to the whale.
That Victoria Winters is not only an employee, she is a guest in my house, and I want her treated with as much respect
as much respect as you would give Burke Devlin?
Oh, uh-oh.
Burke Devlin.
Does Elizabeth know what's up?
Nothing. You can't be serious. Why do you think he's in Collinsport?
It's his home.
Listen.
All right.
Listen to me. Burke is not that poor kid.
Let's stop it there for a second, because this is what I think is This is what I think is happening. I'm going to make my guesses here. I think Elizabeth and Burke were together once upon a time in the past. Burke, low income, lower class family, so not appropriate. The family didn't approve, and eventually he made his way somewhere else to make his fortune. In the exiting of town, he went south with old Roger there as well, and so I still don't know what he has on Roger. But yes, I think there was a relationship with Elizabeth and Burke.
Kid that once worked for us. Not anymore. He's made a lot of money. I warned you not to bring anyone into this house.
Roger, keep your voice down.
I'm fed up with your...
Listen, to be fair, you warned her not to bring everyone into this house. You remember from the first episode, she's like, we're bringing the girl in. And he goes, or just let everyone traipse through the whole village come in.
What I can do and what I can't do. I'm as much a member of this family as you are. It's not my way, and it never will be.
All right. Well, if that's not your way, you're going to just run headlong into the bull, I guess. I mean, there's a middle road, Roger.
A beautiful speech, Uncle Roger. Just beautiful.
God.
Who's trying to kill you?
Carolyn, how long have you been outside that door?
Long enough.
Not long enough, or I wouldn't have to ask. Only that she told Uncle Roger Mr. Devlin had given her a lift from the railroad station.
And it ruined his day.
Darling, this is not your affair.
She wants it to be, though, Mama. I don't know if you know this. She got the hots for her uncle.
Who is Burke Devlin, anyway?
A man we used to know.
Somebody that we used to know. I couldn't help myself.
I wonder if you would mind going upstairs and asking her to come down.
Now that I've scared her.
Go up and bring her down, Elizabeth. I'll do it myself.
Carolyn, I want you to go to bed.
I intend to talk with Miss Winters tonight, one way or the other.
What do you
One way or the other. I mean, I got to do them both now that I did one, right?
I will, Mother. But what about Vicky?
What about Vicky?
I suppose you
That was discordant as hell. Man, I'm telling you, the orchestration on this thing is killer. It's genuinely the best feature. Even if you're not into the soap opera thing, there is a great deal to be gained from just enjoying the varieties of orchestration that this team provides when they're having to just crank these things out. I don't know. There's close to, I don't know how many there are in season 1. I think there's like 30 episodes, 40 episodes in season 1.
I'm going to fight every way I can. Please understand this. I'm going to fight my way.
It's going to be dirty. It's my guess. I bet he's going to fight dirty. I am here for it, friends. I am into it. This is even, I know now that I know, I'm not like anxiously waiting every moment for the supernatural to kick in. I can hang and just enjoy the family drama as it builds with a little bit of soupçon of ghosts from behind. Yeah, I'm for it.
He's really a very nice guy, Vicky. But he's had a rough time. You don't know how rough. A wife who... Well, the less said about her, the better.
No, Carolyn, I think the more said about her, the better. I want to know what the heck his wife did that makes him sneaking upstairs into the babysitter's room okay.
I thought his wife was dead. You thought wrong.
Oh, we thought he was a widow.
And then there's David. A kid like that would make anybody's nerves pop. But you'll find out about him tomorrow.
Yeah, we haven't met David yet. God, wait a minute. So this is literally still Victoria's first night in the house? Ooh, boy, this does move at a glacial pace, doesn't it?
Oh, that's the point. At the stroke of 12, he turns into Dracula.
It's a pumpkin. He's supposed to turn into a pumpkin at midnight.
You won't bite. It won't hurt you.
I assume Roger is also not going to fight Barnabas's way, by the way. Barnabas's way would be to bite her.
Might as well get it over with.
But Uncle Raj is so great. Why would you have to get it over with?
I wish I could, but I've been given my orders. Bed. He's in the drawing room. Oh. Vicky, I want you to know something. I'm really very glad you're here. Really.
All right, Carolyn. You're being weird.
At least let me talk to her.
I don't care who talks to her as long as we find out.
I mean, I think you're at this point going to get much more out of her if you let Elizabeth handle this, Raj.
Come in. Sit down.
Nothing like a set malfunction.
Very sorry.
Love it.
I'm sure that's why-
Mrs. Stoddard, I don't
Now,
understand.
Miss Winters, my sister asked you a question. Did Burke Devlin say anything about any of us?
Boy, can we get Roger Collins to moderate the next presidential debate so that he returns to the question and gets it answered?
Good night, Elizabeth, and don't worry. I promise to be on my very best behavior.
Roger, I don't like.
Sleep well, dear.
Good night, Miss Winters.
Goodness gracious. All right, sleep well, dear. Why did she suddenly fold there? Is that... I don't know if we're supposed to take anything from that. It might just be expeditious because they wanted to have this scene with the two of them alone, but maybe, I don't know, some sort of suggestive drop that he's doing.
Tomorrow, Miss Winters, you will start coping with my son.
Man, they're going to bring this kid out and he's just going to be like left-handed or something. It's going to be, I bet it's going to be, I don't know. I'm interested to meet David.
He's a difficult child, you know.
So I've been told.
You demand all your patience and honesty.
Mr. Collins, I don't like being cross-examined.
And I don't blame you. But all I want to know is, did Burke Devlin say anything about any of us? Anything at all?
He said, don't go. He said, get back on the train.
Why is it so important?
He's a dangerous man, Miss Winters. Let it go at that.
It wasn't anything he said in specific. It was more like an attitude. The tone of his voice when he...
This is literally almost every correction that I give to my 15-year-old. It's not what you said, son. It's the tone. It's the attitude.
There's more to it, isn't there? Much more that you're not telling me.
But that's not true.
He knew that I was living here now, didn't he?
How do I know?
Why did you take that train from New York?
Mr. Collins, that's absolutely ridiculous.
A stranger.
Man, I mean, that's a decent question for him to ask, but like, he's really hammering her and she doesn't know. Burke really didn't say anything to her until they were off the train. Feel bad.
House for the first time in 18 years. And she arrives on the same train as Burke Devlin. Are you trying to tell me that it's only a coincidence?
Well, I'm
Yes,
not trying to
Roger.
tell you anything. Now I'd like to go to my room to get some sleep because I may want to take that early train in the morning.
And that's our wrap up. Right? No? Oh, it's midnight. No, it's 2 a.m. Okay. What happens at 2 a.m.? Thought for a minute maybe Roger was going to turn into a Dracula. Timing's not right. Turn that white noise on the phone. Put my earphones in. Be like, not my circus, not my monkeys. Oh man, the sound mix is cool. It's like a bunch of little random voices. You can't make out any of the dialogue. And then the crying man on top of that. God, he's really sobbing. Girl, don't. What you doing? You crazy, Vicky. God, it's going to be David down here, and he's 42. You going to knock on the door for the ghosts, huh, Vicky? God, imagine all this, and you still haven't gotten to sleep good on your first night in this house. You're supposed to go to work tomorrow morning taking care of some kid.
Who's that?
It's David.
What's the matter, David? Cat got your tongue?
I hate you.
Now that's the way you finish an episode. Yeah, man. I was gonna say what a slow episode that was. I was honestly a little disappointed. I was like, man, y'all said it was glacial, but like that one, literally just rehashing.
Made its debut 1 year ago this week with top recording stars performing Where the Fun Is. Come along for a real good time next here on ABC.
Okay, I said last week when that came on that it couldn't be the original voiceover because they mentioned Supermarket Sweep. Supermarket Sweep premiered in '65, the original one anyway. So it was. That's the original ABC voiceover. How cool is that? I love that they included it here and that it's still in the these episodes on Amazon. Yeah, that one picked up great at the end. I'm so excited we met David. Good job, Dan Curtis. Let's look forward to, I'm assuming we're going to get to know David a little bit next week. I'm excited about that. You can get these episodes early. If you're watching them on YouTube, get them a week early on Patreon by joining at articulatecoven.com/join for $2 or more a month. I'll be back next week with more of Dark Shadows. Ta-da!